Hello, and welcome to this Saturday Law of Success Mastermind. It is August 3rd, 2019, and today's episode is about applied faith and self-confidence. It's about not just having faith, not just having self-confidence, but having applied faith and applied self-confidence, active faith, active self-confidence. That was the biggest part of what we found through studying the three different texts. So the first text was the Law of Success. We had Keys to Success, the Law of Success, and Think and Grow Rich. So it started with applied faith, then went to self-confidence, then went back to faith. Now, it was actually self-confidence in the Law of Success when it was originally written in 1928, and then I believe 1937, well, published dates. With Think and Grow Rich, he changed it to faith. And then in the later works, it changed to applied faith, and he talked a lot about active faith. It's not that he didn't talk about it, it's just that the overall naming scheme of the chapter changed and shifted over time. Now, what was the big takeaway? My biggest takeaway was that I've been watching Napoleon Hill's teaching do extraordinary things. On my iPad, I actually have a member of another mastermind that I was part of. I mean, I still believe I'm part of it. It's just that we haven't been doing videos together. And it was a group of us. And now he's calling out the group for disintegrating before his certification. And I've been watching all his videos. He didn't want me on there because of my own negative mental attitude, to be honest. And my own ill health, my own ill mental health, my own ill bodily health. I mean, I was physically ill, and that was causing mental health issues because of other stresses. And I needed to do some restructuring and step away while I didn't have internet. And because that caused other people to step away, I don't know why they stepped. I mean, I know why, but that's up to them to tell you. But I stepped away because I lost internet and lost the ability to be part of the mastermind. I gave some advice, and my advice it was too critical. I was told by another member that it was too critical. And the point of that is that I needed to take a step back and learn these things. And I had faith that it was all going to work out. And I just said, have patience. But it was unfortunate because we weren't there for a certification. And I wanted to be. I didn't have the money. It would have cost a lot of money for me to go down to Virginia. So, I mean, no one really could make it. It was unfortunate. And now, since then, I've started this because I felt that I had a duty to make this content in the way that I believed would benefit people. And that's by studying multiple different texts. Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success text, which was a very good text, a very thick book. I mean, it was actually in multiple volumes originally, and now it's in a single volume as The Law of Success. So you had that, and then you had Think and Grow Rich, which is a much smaller book, a much more condensed book, much fewer stories. And then you have Napoleon Hill's Keys to Success, which I don't even know that he wrote them. I just think they're taken from these texts plus his later texts and just refined. It's all refined Napoleon Hill content. I think that's really cool. So when we study all of it, it takes us on a range of learning. And that's what applied faith is I had faith that if I did it this way, it would work. And if I did it daily, it would work. And the habit becomes an addiction. So if you have addictions, you've got to replace certain addictions with other addictions. If you have an addiction to television, change that addiction. It may take time, but you got to change it to listening to audio, watching videos, reading, and choose that content. I mean, basically, it's just about choosing the content that you fill your mind with. You're going to be constantly reading. You're going to be constantly researching. Your mind's going to be constantly stimulated to be doing more and creating more. So it's going to be a never-ending thing. I mean, that's ultimately what our minds are. Some of us numb our minds with that content because other parts of our areas are unhappy. We're not living. We're not working. We're not playing. We're not loving. We're not learning. We're not paying it forward. Or something in one of those things is wrong. We're not living happy, healthy, and selflessly abundant. We're not working with passion to solve problems and serve others. We're not playing hard and then loving and connecting harder. We're not learning and growing by following our curiosity. We're not paying it forward with gratitude. So there's additional steps to all these things, but you build upon them. It's like you've got to have your base foundational needs met, and then you build upon up to self-actualization, where you can actually have happiness. And that's what faith is about. It's about believing that you will appreciate the journey, believing and having self-confidence in yourself, in your activities, that what you're doing is right for you toward your own self-actualization. That's the key, is you've got to be following your own curiosity. That's why I've come up with these habits, and they correspond with Napoleon Hill's teachings, and that's why I did this mastermind. That's why this mastermind is so important. And I may change the time, because I did this at the same time as the other mastermind, because I was already in the habit of it. And I was doing it 3 nights per week, and then I was wanting to do it more nights per week, but I didn't want to do it as part of the group because I wanted to be more in line with Napoleon Hill's text, not other people's interpretations of that text. I think it's very important that we actually go based on these texts. And then if we take other people's interpretations, well, let's take Keys to Success. So then we have 3 different levels. And then if you want to get my interpretation, listen to my other podcasts. I occasionally put my interpretation into this podcast and on the summary day, but on the 6 days a week, it's mostly, 95% at least of me reading. So I hope you gained value from this episode. I hope it was a good summary. I feel really inspired, and I think that there may be some more rapid progress with this mastermind group in the coming weeks ahead. I think some things are falling into place. I'm excited. So, I just got internet within the last 3 weeks. I just started doing these calls 4 weeks ago, and that first week was on cell internet, like 1 megabit per second. Now I have 1 gigabit per second, 1,000 times faster. So I went from calling, now I have video and all this. And it's going to get better and better and improve. The audio quality is going to improve. The video quality is going to improve. Things are going to improve in such a way and in more places that people are going to be able to join in and be a part of this in a much bigger way, because the goal, the vision with why I'm doing this, I'm going to be transparent. I'm doing this to attract the right people, to feed, house, and empower 1 billion people by 2049. To live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward with happiness, health, and selfless abundance. That's my mission. That's my vision. That's the perspective that I'm coming from to help you learn the law of success. So my goal is that I help you to have so much success that you're selflessly abundant with that success, and feeding, housing, and empowering other people, paying it forward. So there's a lot in the future, a lot moving forward. The goal is to impact 1 billion people by 2049. I need a lot of people, 1 billion of you. We will all literally be billionaires because each person that joins is a part of this bigger purpose. It's truly about 1/10 of humanity within 30 years. I'm not talking about dominating all of humanity or a cult or anything like that. I'm talking about creating a structure and then decentralizing that wealth. All that wealth isn't going to be mine. Very little bit of that overall wealth will be mine, and it will be decentralized in so many ways. I mean, I'm doing 4 rounds of funding, giving up 40% of the company. 30% of the company is given up to employees. 30% is kept, for me, vested over the next 30 years of my life. I'm getting 1% per year of my life for this mission. And that's mostly just so that the company has not lost control to some evil powers or something. The main goal is happiness, health, and abundance for people. I mean, but they've got to understand what it's all about. That's why people, if they're given everything, they struggle. It's not about giving people everything. It's about creating an environment. It's about redesigning spaces, villages, and cities to enable people to be fed, housed, and empowered to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward with happiness, health, and selfless abundance. I've been designing villages and spaces this way, and I've lived in certain places to learn these things. I lived in my car in San Francisco and in Palo Alto in order to learn this. I lived in a hotel room in Las Vegas. I lived and worked in a hostel in Las Vegas. I lived in Lansing, Michigan on Saginaw Highway, which is very important, at Village Green, which is very important. These are all manifestations to prove that the concept works, and some extraordinary things happened in a 3-month period, and now even more extraordinary things are happening. You look at these podcasts, you listen to these readings are one thing, but then my other podcasts all combine for this mission and vision. And then eventually, right now I need to attract and manifest people, money, resources. It's about resourcefulness. This is the most resourceful way I can do this. That's why I'm doing this. And I believe that I will have the investment. There's going to be many part of it is also real estate syndication. We're raising $111.1 billion for my company, okay? But then that's only 10% of the total amount that we're raising. The other 90% is through real estate syndications. And all that money will be used to build these villages to feed, house, and empower people. I've got it actually planned out. It starts with individual spaces. This is the first space. This is a prototype. And if you look next to this and seeing what was next door to this, and if you see my entire vision, which you will see if you watch my other podcast, that's not what this is about. But what this is about is applied faith. And I have so much applied faith, and my wife has so much applied faith and confidence within me, and is boosting the confidence within me. And this book has taught me that a man's wife can either break her or make a man. And my wife is making me. She has more faith in me than anything. I would be dead. I would have killed myself by now without my wife. Literally, 100%. I was going to kill myself. I had plans, one last ditch effort to try things, and it was going to be working with someone in Tony Robbins' inner circle. And if that didn't work, if I wasn't able to break through, then it was like I was done. And I didn't even know how that was going to work out. I was doing that on a faith. But the thing is, my wife came into my life. Well, back into my life. We had met previously. And we both had faith. We literally spent a little bit of time together, had a 2-week break because she was sick, and then we got back together and spent a weekend together, and literally it was like, we are married. We are going to get married, and we are going to do this. And I hadn't even told her much about what I was doing, but she knew some of my vision because she had worked at the hotel that I was doing this with. And if you have ever seen the Why Does Connor Love Project Inspire Us video, then you would see what I was doing with that hotel, and it was going to be this. It was the incubator for this, and I was going to take 100 acres right next to it. That didn't work out, but that 100 acres is still available. My wife now works for the company that owns the 2 brand new hotels that sit on that very spot. And she's done this through the Mastermind Alliance that we've created with each other and had applied faith with each other. This story, when you fully understand this story, when you fully understand my mission, when you fully understand what I'm doing, you look at hillmastermind.com. Hillmastermind.com, that's something we put together for the Mastermind, which is on the Law of Success in 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill page on Facebook. And you can see Hugo on those videos. And if you look back, you'll see me in some of them, but I was more behind the scenes. And now I've been forced into front and center with all these podcasts. It's me, all about me. And I've kind of stepped into me. And instead of being the sidekick, I am now the hero of my own life. And I've taken my thoughts and I have become rich, literally, with abundance in my life. If you saw the abundance in my life, it is magical, like absolutely magical. It's unreal. So now I've got to take this abundance and be massively resourceful with this so that I don't lose it. And I've got to keep building and compounding on it. So I've got to continue to think to grow rich and recruit people, to bring people in to be part of this. Ownership is available, to employees. There are investment opportunities available. I'm doing a Series A through 2019. So I'm moving forward very rapidly and doing extraordinary things. I'm now up to 7 podcasts per day. This is my 7th podcast today, and then I also do my own personal Bible study. Starting tomorrow, I will be at 8 podcasts per day and then as well as my own personal Bible study that I record for myself to listen to. And that's just reading the Bible. And then I'm also learning programming through Harvard and then through Stanford. I'm also taking time before the end of the year to get a builder's license education. I have an overall education, but I need the actual hard level education so that I can pass a test to become a builder. And I'm also doing the same thing with the real estate license. So that maybe I'll do what I have to do and become what I have to become so that I apply with all the laws. So I comply with all the laws, and I've already engineered these houses and these spaces a certain way, but I'm taking them to a different level with this education. And hopefully with this, I'll inspire you to do the same in your own life. You may not be passionate about the same things I'm passionate about, but you are passionate about solving problems and serving others about your passion. And cities, villages, everyone, 1 billion people are going to be impacted. These are going to be Apple communities. Really foundational Apple technology. They're not going to be Google communities. That's going to be created by, Google. But I have staked my flag. I'm doing this with Apple. Same with Tesla. I'm doing this with Tesla. So there are going to be others with other vehicles. And I'm not saying that there won't be other vehicles, but most likely, probably there won't be. I really do see this. If you really fully see this vision, you will see a whole new way of villages, cities, and the way people are living, working, playing. And you're going to see a level of happiness, health, and selfless abundance on this planet that's never been possible before. It's going to seem like transcendence into a new way of living, working, playing. I mean, it's incredible to really think about, and I have the faith, the applied active faith and self-confidence that this will come true. This is my definite chief aim, my definite purpose. I have definiteness of purpose. So thank you for this episode. This was really a lot about me, and maybe it got you thinking. So I told you about the one website, but the Law of Success Mastermind.com is the website for this, so that you can listen to past episodes, and there's some other resources, and I'm going to be building out that resource more. So the Law of Success Mastermind.com is the resource for this. So I really appreciate you, and we're going to be moving forward in a lot of exciting ways. And I'm going to be having these Happy Hero Studios built and manufactured, and these villages and these cities. And it all starts with individuals. It all starts with living, working, playing, loving, learning, paying it forward. And these are 100-acre villages attached to other communities. So it's not about cultish or anything like that. So I don't want to alarm anyone. It truly is about just feeding, housing, and empowering a tenth of the global population over the next 30 years. And someone's got to do it, because you look, and we still have people without proper sanitation. We still have displaced refugees. We still have, 500,000 homeless people living on the streets. That's not counting all the people in the shelters. That's not counting all the people. I mean, we need long-term solutions for these people so that they have dignity, so that they feel like they can live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward. Thank you. I feel so great about this episode, and I hope you do too. And, visit our Facebook, comment on things. We also have a YouTube, comment by this name, The Law of Success Mastermind. So thank you. I appreciate you. I really do. I genuinely do. Thank you.